Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Commissioner Board and Dr. Garrettson. This is Bruce Paterson of Garwood. Rezos. It appears there's two rezos linked, 515 and 535, and these are two rezos accepting and distributing $4.8 million and or $4.5 million of federal super NOFA monies. I don't know what's the difference between those two, but, you know, give a rundown of the public, what organizations are getting how much money, and what is the county's share of that. Another two that are linked, 529 and 575. The Reso has the county covering a shared service of $9.2 million of prescription and health benefits for the Union County VOTEC. This was touched upon previously. How much is the VOTEC actually paying the county for this? And yeah, 575 appears to be similar, but instead of 9.2, it's 8.2. So I really don't understand those two. Number 550, this change orders increasing Retaco construction contract by 30%, now totaling $800,000. It appears it's a culvert, but what's the scope of work involved? How did it show up, and what are the costs are impacted, such as engineering and construction management? A grouping of 557 to 560. This is a records management agreement with 4 counties for the towns to give information to the county through some cloud. For the public's knowledge, what information is now being shared. 569, this is given a contract to Momentum Telecom of Georgia for election maintenance and networking for 3 years, and it was explained about a private T1 cable. But is this somebody new? What changed from the previous years? Number 570, BGIA/Acrisure is getting $3.2 million as a broker for stop-loss insurance from Blue Cross. In 2012 and again in 2021, the state comptroller had put out an audit and a report finding there are millions of dollars of waste and abuse found in government contracts through insurance and brokers throughout the state. The local management of BGIA Acrisure is Gary Taffet, who was caught, indicted, and penalized by the SEC for insider trading and fined $725,000. He was also forced to resign as Governor McGreevy's chief of staff, along with some other questionable dealing. In 2020, his company was investigated by the Attorney General for pay-to-play violations, although the Attorney General will neither confirm nor deny any resolution of the case. As a member of the public, we implore you to really scrutinize this company and its alleged spurious management and maybe go with a different broker. Question, how much BGIA Acrisure is getting paid for this work? And also note that they have donated $31,000 in the last 4 years to you and your county cronies. 571, this is awarding a contract of $350,000 to SSDC of Michigan for analyzing and possibly retrieving Medicare savings, and it's a good idea, of course. However, this is going through BGIA Acrisure as a subcontract. Why does BGIA have to get involved? How much is BGIA making from this, and why can't this contractor be hired direct by the county? 574. This is a collective bargaining agreement with Correction Officers PBA 199. How many COs are involved, and what are the changes agreed to regarding salaries and benefits? 584 is a lawsuit settling Reginald Curry versus County of Union for 95 grand. Just explain an overview of what that is. 585, Wiener Law Firm is receiving an initial windfall of 10 grand for a lawsuit titled Weldon Materials versus County of Union et al. Please give an overview of that case and who are the et als involved. And then on the general comment, there's an executive session regarding a lawsuit, Rivera versus UCPO. Give an overview of that case. And just one final comment to Commissioner Baker. And I said this years ago, but I might as well repeat it now. The government has no money. Rebecca Williams actually did touch upon it. It's all from us. It's all from the people. The government has no money. So keep that in mind, all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The floor is still open. Okay, so there were several queries made, so I'm going to ask folks to come up with the proper number. So for resolution 515 and 529. Director Taylor?
So through you, Chair, Resolution 515 is indeed tied to Resolution 535. The difference between the two is that 535 is accepting, 515 is modifying the budget to actually utilize those funds and bringing it into our general ledger to spend.
Thank you.
The other resolution that you asked about was 529, I believe?
Yeah, 529, yes.
529 is also linked to the Admin Services Resolution 570, 575, 576, and 577. There's a difference in the numbers primarily because there's different periods of time that we're covering in those resolutions, but it's dealing with the same issue of modifying prior resolutions and/or authorizing services tied to the VOTEC health benefits plan coming under ours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I think that's it. Okay. Director Graziano, there was a question about Resolution 550.
Thank you, Chair. Through you. This is a final change order for this project, the Short Hills Avenue Bridge. It's been going on for a few years now. So this change order is really involved with a lot of stuff. Mainly, the DEP changed some guidelines on the excavation of the controlled fill or the contaminated fill. They lowered their requirements over the last couple of years of the project, which in turn allows us or requires us to remove more fill than we anticipated in the project. So most of this change order is for the excavation and the removal of the fill. There is also some credit change orders in here. We had a winter concrete extra that I think I brought to this board back in probably in December of last year that we did not have to use that because our winter was pretty light and they were able to work under the current conditions. So those are most there is no construction management on this. This is a final change order for Ritaco Construction. And again, it was a publicly bid project.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Let's see, where was I? Oh, okay. Chief Debbie? Oh, there you are. Okay. Yeah, so there were questions. I didn't get all the questions, but there was a question about resos number 557 through 560. Yes.
Yes, Chair, through
The
you.
UIC. Uh-huh.
This is an agreement for an RMS management system. So that's fancy for police reports. It's a fancy word for police reports. What we're going to do is these are partners in our dispatch center, these municipalities, and these municipalities will have access to a records management system that they're all going to have basically for themselves, and this information will be theirs and theirs alone. There is also going to be a information sharing portion of it that the information will be dumped into a query server for the public safety of the police officers and the citizens as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Administrator Dorado, would you come please and offer a little more clarification about 569, please?
Through you, Chair. Momentum Services, this is a renewal of a 3-year agreement. The T1 line was installed in 2019, right after we began the transition to a new vote tabulation system. So it was in place ahead of the 2019 general election.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
And let's see, Director Scutari, there were a couple of comments. I'm not sure if there was actually a question, but if you could just explain the process of using this company.
So for 570 and 571, these are broker recommended. We don't pay the broker. We actually pay Horizon for our stop loss insurance, and then we actually pay SSDC if they find someone who gets switched over to Medicare disability insurance. They get a set fee that we would pay them. So if they find no one, they don't get anything. I didn't really hear.
And the
another
other question was about number 574, about the collective bargaining, the corrections officers.
Sure. In 2022, there's 36 employees in that union. For 2023, 2% increase across the board. And under the, I think they asked about the health insurance,
Yes.
effective January 2023, premium contributions shall revert to those paid under the July 2021 agreement.
Thank you so much. And then the last two questions were for County Council, 584 and 585, if you could just say what you can.
Yes, thank you, Chair. 584 is settlement of a litigation matter. This arises out of a inmate in our jail. Based on the rules of the jail, he was in the hospital ward, and it created an issue with him being able to practice his religion. There was a disagreement between the inmate and the county as to whether we did everything we could and should have to allow him to exercise his religion. We believe we were correct in this, but it's in the federal courts. The mediator appointed by the federal judge recommended a settlement, which has been recommended to this board by the county council's office and is before the board tonight to be approved. Part of the payment of the settlement will come from the company that ran the hospital ward, and part from the county. It's really a financial decision that the risks of trial are too high, and based on the recommendation of the judge, we are proceeding with this, recommending the settlement. 585 concerns a new litigation matter concerning a traffic light on Bonnie Burn Road actually in Watchung, but Union County has maintained that road since 1927, so we've been pulled into this case involving really Watchung and a development in their town, but because we've been sued, then we need to have counsel to protect the county's rights. I think also there was a question about the matter in closed session, which I can respond to if you like. And as I've said before, this is an ongoing litigation matter, so that I really can't comment on it, other than that it is a Open Public Meetings Act, Open Public Records Act case, and at the time it is settled or ended, then it'll be brought to the public's attention. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, County Council. The floor is still open.